new day. We made it through the election. So, standing out here in front of the Capitol today. Ooh, my glasses don't fell on my face. I guess that's a sign. It's nice and quiet out here. Nice and quiet. Out here walking Jeezy. So, this morning I'm going to talk about, as usual, loving yourself. And I used to be hell on wheels. I was young, and me and my husband would get to arguing and fight. He would never argue with me, so because he was 6'2". Well, he is 6'2", and I'm 5'2". But I would be arguing over I don't know what. But now, like I said, now I'm older, and I look back. Instead of arguing so much over little things, I would have paid more attention on what I needed to do. Yeah, more attention what I needed to do. Yeah. That's what I want to say. So I'm down here at the Capitol, right? I guess it's a gift shop or something here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see at the bottom there, it's a gift shop. And it look like they checking people's bags and stuff, which I'm not going to go down there. But yeah, so I'm not going all down there. Do Jeezy trying to walk down there. Jeezy likes to walk and he likes the grass. But yeah, now that I'm older, I enjoy life more peaceful. I believe because I have more peace within myself. You know, the kids is all grown. Like I said, I get to travel. I travel. I want to work. I work. I have plenty of time on my hands. At least it seemed that way. And my children are all grown. And there go the United States flag, just a waving. For liberty and justice for all. But yeah. So yesterday in one of the comments, yesterday I was talking about if your spouse is cheating, whether they are cheating or not cheating, just take care of yourself. Do things for yourself. That's what I was. Do things that you like. Not saying, and someone wrote, oh, I don't know about cheating, I wouldn't put up with that or whatever. But when I was younger, that's what, we would say, oh, I'm not putting up with that. I'm not putting up with that. I'm not putting up with that. But in my life experience, a lot of people that been married for years and years and years and years and years, they just stuck it out, whatever it was. And those people that kept their marriage among themselves, you ain't know their business. You don't know if he's cheating. You don't know if she's cheating. You don't know if he had a baby on the side, or you don't know if she made a baby on him. Because women do too. It's just that men don't run us in the ground like we run them in the ground. But so in the answer to that, I'm not saying that if your spouse is cheating on you, you should stay. That's your decision. That's your decision whether you stay or go. That's your decision. Everybody has to make their own decision in life. But me being on the speaking to the young women and men is that whatever you're going through for that season is going to pass. Whether it's the cheating season. I know one time I was at a cookout or something, and the young girl, I was like, oh, you and your husband? So, yep. And she got to going on how he had a gambling problem. This is when I lived in New Jersey, when I was married. And she was like, yeah, it was one time he would take his whole check and go to the casino. If I didn't know that, and she didn't tell me, I would have never thought. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing. Because they was lovey-dovey and happy at the cookout. I didn't know that he had a gambling problem at one time. And she said she had to work. And they had 2 little kids. But that was a season. And they made it through it. You know? I know I had one good girlfriend for years. Her husband kept her in a Mercedes. Their house was always laid. And finally she got a divorce. Me and her got a divorce around the same time. We both left New Jersey around the same time. And later on in the year, she said he used to beat her. And I'm like, huh? You sure? This can't be the same person. Yeah, girl, he used to beat me. I'm like, huh? I never knew. She never said. And I remember seeing them walking in the mall, and I'm like, thinking, oh, they're the perfect couple. So I'm not saying you should stay while your spouse cheats. I'm not saying you should stay while your spouse beats you. But with that better or worse, when you say it, you don't know how better or how worse it's going to be. But whatever it is, you're going to have bad seasons and you're going to have good seasons. And then you meet some married couples tell you they don't never fight. They lucky. And that might be because even though the one person fight, the other person just look at them and smile and keep on going. Let them fuss and argue by themselves. After a while, you get tired of fussing and arguing by yourself. Get tired. But the main reason for me making these videos is just to encourage us to just take care of ourselves. Go for a walk. Go visit the Capitol the day after election and see how calm it is. Ain't a soul out here, but it's police with guns on the corner to the entrance of the Capitol. So ain't nobody storming in because they got their radios just in case it go down. I don't know if you can hear sirens in the back. I don't know where they going. But today is a lovely day. Whether Trump win or Kamala win, I'm enjoying my day in D.C. I stopped and got me a cup of coffee, and I stopped by this gluten-free bakery and got me a donut. Child, the donut was $3.75. I was going to get two of them, but I didn't. I only got one because I said, I'm not $3.75 for one donut. But it was so good. The name of the place was called Sweet Criminally Delicious. Oh, that donut was so good. I don't know if you hear the sirens behind me. I don't know where they're going. Some kind of buggy. But yeah. But I'm in DC enjoying my quiet time. My son is in Tokyo. I'm doggy sitting. But yeah. Take it. The energy you take chasing behind your spouse to see if they cheating is time and energy you can be putting in yourself doing things you like to do. Because I used to be hell on wheels. I used to check the phones. I used to go up to the job. This when I was younger, young woman. Took all that energy. And I could have been taking that energy and putting it in my health, putting it in going on walks. Because I had money, because my business was doing real good. But I just had that in me to want to chase behind him. Which, whatever he did, he never did it in front of me. I never seen him. I just was going by hearsay. Which I knew, I wasn't with him 24/7, and then it got to the point where at some point, we wasn't seeing eye to eye along the way. Sometimes wouldn't see him for a couple of days or whatever. That's toward the end where it got bad. But it built up to that. Because I used to be hell on wheels. But now he old, he done had a stroke. And he's still single. Yeah. But anyway, like I said, time and energy put in to yourself, whether you learn to do yoga or pick your go to your favorite coffee spot, all the things you would do as a single person. If you learn to do them things as a married person, and your spouse is at, well, even if you and your spouse is not at a rocky point, just learn how to be balanced. Sometimes with your spouse, sometimes with you. But make sure you always do things you like to do, and that way you're always happy. And I heard a guy say last night, Coach Amir, he said, don't get married trying to find happiness. He said, you should already be happy when you get married. Already, happiness should be already in you. You should already be happy. He said, don't get married trying to be the rich man. That's what it was, Coach Amir. And the question was, how do I find a rich husband, or how do I meet a rich man? He said, some of the rich people, he said, their wives be the most miserable people, because the husband's always out working, because he's out trying to make that money. He's not worried about going to the grocery store with you and doing fun things. He's out getting his hustle on. He said, so when you marry somebody like that with money, you gotta have your own life, because your husband not going to be sitting up on you watching TV every day. If you marry somebody rich, yeah, you're gonna have money, you're gonna have the cars, but the spouse is not going to be there all the time, because they, out trying to get their hustle. They're hustling. So a lot of time as a wife, especially if your husband rich, you got to learn to have your own life. And a lot of them do. Like that, speaking of the president of the United States, elect Trump, his wife, he had a sex scandal. She said, I don't have nothing to do with my husband's sexual relations. What in the world kind of mess? As to say, I'm living good, my son lived good. You ain't heard from that woman since. As crazy as Trump be, you ain't heard nothing from that woman. Nothing. And she living in the house, drinking her tea, her coffee, going to yoga, and minding her business. She don't care how crazy he is. But most time with women of color, I'm not putting up with that. He doing this, he doing that. I'm leaving. And then we working 2 and 3 jobs trying to make it, because we said we not putting up with it. I see Jada ain't went nowhere. She live good. Wish you gonna leave Will Smith and do what? Go work. You gotta find a job. She ain't worked in years. So wish she gotta go find a job. Gotta find a new place to stay. Who gonna do all that when you? Not only that, that's the one thing I did. I left my house. Man, you gotta start all over again. You gotta buy your own house. I'm telling you. If I don't talk to one person, I got a cousin, she's 64, she's still trying to find a place. She's been divorced for years. She's still trying to find a place. And she had a guy she was dating, and she was with him for like 10 years. And I was like, when you gonna get married? She got mad at him over something. He said something to her, and she packed up and left. And that was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And she's still trying to find a place. Still trying to get it together. Gotta start all over again. I don't even think she worked. And when she told me what he did, I'm like, all because he said something about you could get out? Who cares if he said you could get out because y'all was in the argument? Let him say what he want. He paying all the bills. You don't work. He ain't put you out all this time. He might have just been having a bad day. Now, long he don't try to physically put you out, that's something different. But just y'all arguing, and he said you could get out. But then again, if you doing your own thing, taking care of your business, working your little part-time job, or doing your little side hustle, going to the gym, when do he have time to say that to you? Not if you moping around. No, you gotta have your own life. You gotta have your own thing going. You gotta have your own thing going. No matter if you're married or if you're single. Whether if you're married or you're single, you have to have your own life. Now, when you get married, the married is just married just add. Married just, when you get married, that's just adding to what you have. But as a single person, you still have to have your own life. You still have to have your own life. You got to go jog and see these young men. See people out here enjoying the day, jogging, walking their dogs. Yeah, so just because you get married, that don't solve all your problems. You still got to have your own life. Now, like I said, I'm not saying let somebody cheat on you, but what I'm saying, if you got your own thing going, you don't care what they doing. You don't care what they doing. Now, how Jada gonna say 7 years ago they wasn't speaking? If that woman ain't told us that, we wouldn't have known. Be honest. If Jada didn't tell us that her and Will hadn't been talking or sleeping together, or if they didn't tell us that she was sleeping with somebody, if she didn't confess, we would have never known. Everybody thought that Will and Jada was the perfect couple. So I'm telling you, all them people that you think that's perfect couples, I'm just saying, they going through or they went through something. They just ain't tell nobody. They ain't told their mom. They ain't told her aunt. They ain't told their cousin. They just in their little quiet space or whatever. They went through whatever they went through. Ain't tell nobody until they got to the other side. That's so funny. That's so funny because I was working one day. I was working with this little teeny Chinese lady. So cute little Yang Ying or something, but me and her, because at work, a lot of times we just have time to sit down and chat. We don't do nothing. And she said, Miss Camille, during COVID, my husband made me mad. I go to the court to get the divorce. I knock on the door and no one answer and no divorce. I said, well, Young Chin, you ain't get no divorce. She said, no, because I went there and the court was closed because it was COVID. But she said her and her husband one time didn't speak for a whole month in the same house. So what I would tell my young self, instead of going on my little tantrums, fighting, because we might not have been speaking or whatever, which he really didn't bother me and I didn't really bother him, but we would have just had a season, because not only that, we had little kids. They was going into teenage. During this time, when we start being rocky, was when my oldest daughter might have been about 14. Mona probably was 12. So that made little Kevin, if Mona was 12, that made Kevin 8. And that made my little daughter probably about 7. That's when we going through our rocky period. 7-year itch. Yeah, my little daughter probably would have been 7. That's when we got real bad. Where we wasn't speaking. He was going his way and I was going my way. It was just a season. That's how long, girl. Not only that, you go through all of that and you get on the other side, you don't even remember what you were arguing about. Now, he's still out here 30 years later, 20 years later, still trying to find a place, still trying to get on your feet, still trying to do this, still trying to do that. And you leave our house, with the husband, or you just walk away. I'm just saying, not everybody does that, but I'm just talking to the ones that your husband or your wife or your spouse is on your last nerve and you just want to throw it all away. And all I'm saying is not, the divorce sounds easy. It sounds easy. It sounds like, it's just a piece of paper. And when I get a divorce, it's all over. It's not. It's not. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like a piece of you still trying to fix it. Even though they done moved on, you don't move on. It's still, in my personal experience, it seems like it still takes something out of you. Take something out of you. So my personal experience, sometimes I think if you just stay, it's because as hard as you fight to get away, because you're going to be fighting to get away for whatever the reason, and everybody is entitled to their own reason. You're fighting to get away. All I'm saying is just getting that piece of divorce paper, you still going to have to fight for yourself or fight to get on your feet, fight to start again, new furniture. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. So if you are going through a rough season in your marriage, where you're not seeing eye to eye, it's just a season. That's all I'm saying. It's a season. Whatever you're going through, it's just for a season. That's all. Whatever you're going through is a season. It's just for a season. Just for a season. Because once the kids get older, you're going to have more time to do things together, go on date night. That's why you hear people say they have to have date night. You know, you got kids, you still got to go on date night. Because that person that you married to, that's still that same special person. It's just sometimes with all the kids and everybody working, you don't get to spend as much time with each other as you usually do. So that's why I said make sure you take time to take care of yourself and look cute and go on dates with your husband before it gets to, you know, I can't stand him, he can't stand me. And the best thing I could do is leave. And like I said, sometimes you want to leave, but as hard as you fight to get away, what if you fight to stay together? Even if you just, remember I told you about getting in line at the amusement park? Or if you're at the movies in line, somebody has to stand in line and hold the space while the other person go gets the popcorn. That's how life is. That's how being married is. Sometimes somebody got to stand in line while the other person go get the popcorn. And you hold their space till they get back. Or sometimes you hold their space, you know, you with somebody, you going somewhere, and they said, well, I'm going to hold your space while you go to the bathroom. That's a good one. I'm going to hold your space while you go to the bathroom. Right? And that's how marriage is. Sometimes you got to hold each other's. One person might not be able to stand there. Somebody got to be able to stand. And that's not easy. Look at that. I'm in D.C. Look at Jeezy. Somebody doing an interview right there at the Capitol. Life is so beautiful. And then sometimes you're going to have a spouse that don't want to go out and do things and see sights. But you do it. Sometimes you might be a season where you have to get up and grab the kids. Now that I think about it, instead of packing up, leaving my home, I had enough money saved. I could have bought a vacation house in Memphis. I didn't have to physically pack up and move there, which I'm glad I did. But like I said, it's hard starting all over again.
Road closed in 1.4 miles.
Yeah.
Your route has been updated. At the light, turn right onto 1st Street Northeast. Then turn right.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I'm not going to keep you too long. I done said what I had to say. And like I said, again, now that I'm older, I just look at things different. That's all. I just look at things different. Because
At the light, turn right onto 1st Street Northeast. Then turn right onto Constitution Avenue Northeast.
like I